welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and these are some leftover colors from the rainbow bag that I had made. And so I had Mandy put together this really big kumi of like 36 strings, and you can see me here trying to sort them out. And I talked about this a little bit in the pattern making portion of how all the cold colors will have to go to one side and all the hot colors go to the other side. And that's essentially what I'm trying to work out at this point right here. Not super difficult, but slightly tedious. Especially since the two light greens sort of looked more like a yellowish color than what the rest of the colds. So yeah. And so you can see there's a lot there was a lot of work getting it sorted. And if I'm not mistaken, I have to flip this, right? Yeah. So this, by the way, you might notice is being done on my leather clipboard, which is very different from how I usually do this, as well as that desk doesn't look familiar. Well, that's because this bracelet got made while Mandy and I were away in Thailand. And I basically am recording this with my phone, and it's clamped to just this like metal pole that sort of like up above had where hangers and stuff were and stuff. It was just sort of a weird thing to have in our room. But yeah, it worked out for the purpose of this. So I kind of wanted to show you guys how I got it started. And like I said, right, so there is a bunch of string going up underneath that clip that'll be a diamond on the other side. So both of these diamonds are the same. I basically just worked out, those are all my reds. And then working out, there's my oranges. And then I will have my yellows. And because it starts with the yellow, if you remember we just did the pattern video, right? So it starts out with the yellows first. So it goes the dark yellow, light yellow, dark yellow. And then to the oranges, the dark orange, the middle, the light orange, dark orange, and then the reds. And so, yeah. And you can see I really, because there's so many strings, getting that to loop around everything else and getting it held down really nice and tight was sort of a thing. And yeah, getting them paired really well so they'll come together and do what they're supposed to do, that also counts, because you want this first row that we're creating to sit really well, because everything builds off of it, right? So that's the important part there. So yeah. And this is not sped up. This is obviously, this is real-time stuff right here. That is partially because we don't have a whole lot of the footage. There was limitations with the phones and where we were and things like that kind of make this video kind of go quick. So I kind of have to explain to you parts that you might not get to see. So, but again, this is the setup. This is the really important part. Once you have it all together and things are working, it's pretty repetitive. It's pretty easy. It just sort of does like a basket weave thing, essentially. So yeah. But yeah. And then the light red will go over the last red. And there we go. So now it's the cold colors, and it'll start with the three greens, the darkest green first, middle green, then the light green, and then the blues, and then the purples. So this might actually be the most difficult part of the whole bracelet, honestly, is just getting it set up, getting it going. Possibly for you, it might even be the loop itself, because if you doubled up your strings, it's 36. All right, so that's that. You have to have a special kumi for that and everything else. Maybe just do the macrame one, or simple braid. I don't know. I have Mandy, so I have the benefit there. She is absolutely great at making these the kumis for stuff like this. So yeah, dark blue, light blue, and then the dark blue. And yeah, okay. So if you didn't double up the floss, if you were really wanting to have a nice kumi braid and you didn't double up the floss, it would be 18 strings, which that works out. That'd be fine. So yeah, you could do that instead. Just trying to think of ways to make this easier for you, because this really could be a great beginner bracelet. Again, the hardest part is the loop. So just do whatever kind of loops that you're most accustomed to, and you can rock this thing. Again, I doubled up the strings, which made this nice, big, chunky, and thick, big enough that you could fit like a chapstick or something inside. Yeah. Yeah, or the inhalers, right? Like the things for clearing out your sinuses, like the Vicks inhaler, that fits inside. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a little trouble with the focus. The phone, you can't just set the focal length. So it's gonna zoom in and out a bit here. So yeah, first it goes, the yellow goes over top of the greens, right? So just 3 knots down, and it goes to the next one. 3 knots, 3 knots. This is me out on top of a mountaintop working on this. We basically were taking it out all over the place. I got a coffee there, beautiful views, chance to be in the fresh air, absolutely loving it. And again, it's just a matter of getting the work to do that over under thing. Yes, there are sheep out there, and there's all kinds of tourists running around getting their photos and stuff with the sheep. That was a lot of fun. And what a great place to just sit, enjoy a coffee, and tie some knots. That was that was a lot of fun. So that's in Thailand. Um, our friend Sammy, he was driving. Well, we just met Sammy, but Sammy was a great guy. He took us all over the place. So you can see here, again, I'm just working out the knots. I'm just working off of a clipboard. Mandy was supposed to be getting more of my work. I think she was more fascinated with the sheep. But yeah, here we go. Essentially, I put the two diamonds together, and right, because when you start it, right, you'll have a diamond shape, and here that basically those two diamonds have come together. It hasn't become a cylinder just yet. That happens here in a little bit, but got the two of them to join together, and that's relatively easy. It's just get the loop to lay flat, and with the two sides, once you have like the diamond on both sides, then the green will overlap the yellow, and that just joins, and that's, yeah, yeah. So then you can kind of make like a third area, like, so right, you had the just the small diamond at the top and the small diamond on the other side. You can get a whole nother diamond area down below there where they're both joined really well. And then from there, you're going to flip it over and bring the other two parts together. And that starts off your cylinder. Lots of sheep. Sheep are really darn cute. Um, but yeah, I love how the art is so portable. So yeah, here I am. We went from there to this really cool coffee place. They brewed, there's the coffee name there. Over there at the table, they brewed my coffee for me. And Yeah, another really great place to just hang out. That's coffee. It looks kind of like it was wine flavored coffee. But yes, I'm still working at getting them, super well connected. And again, it's three to the left, three to the right kind of thing. Like it's just, well, it's three, three, three for one, like say like the green's going to the left and then the hot colors are always coming to the right. So it's again, it's a really simple. If this had been a complicated pattern, I don't think we would ever have shot the video like this. So it's honestly, it was just, it's a really fun, easy thing. And yeah, so yeah, and you can see, right? I mean, it's a leather board and a clip is all I needed to actually put this together. So, and yeah, I'm working on the blue square, got it going up to the side, enjoying my coffee. It was, we bought some of that coffee to bring home. It was so good. I got my We Bear Bear shirt on. That's awesome. I didn't realize that was in the shot. Um, so yeah, there's the two parts all nice and joined together. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Okay. So yeah, this is at the restaurant. We kind of moved on. Everybody was getting hungry, so we went to a restaurant. It's on top of this mountain, and Mandy's supposed to be showing me getting the two sides to join into the cylinder itself. Um, but yeah, basically that first knot, you have to really pull it in tight. There it is. This is it. Get it pulled in tight so the two sides are together. Again, the green is going over the yellow. That's going to go create the little square again, like all the other ones. And this is what this first little square right here holds the cylinder together. And because it's not huge like the bags or whatever, I don't need something in between to kind of separate the fronts from the back. I can kind of really see what's going on. And after this point, it's really just, you know, the hot colors go going to the right, the cold colors go to the left, and they overlap. And oh man, see, this is why we didn't get further with the recording. Is our lunch showed up and we were starving, and man, that's making me hungry just looking at that. So yeah, that's I think I just get a couple more knots in here. And now, yeah. Okay, so that's that's all the footage I have from Thailand. Um, like I was saying, once you've joined it, like this is the green that joined it. Once you do that, it's just keeping the squares going um, either direction. So I mean, if you're really kind of struggling with the idea, you can watch the rainbow bag. There was a fully made in the live streams. That was kind of fun, but yeah, it's honestly, it's very simple. The knots are either just going to the left or to the right, and it just alternates, and you can just kind of keep going around, and that's all I did. So I made it into a bracelet. Like I said, you can fit a the Vicks inhalers inside, or you could use something like a chapstick or something in there if you wanted to make it maybe shorter and just something you hang on a bag. That would work out as well. But I just worked it out to as long as I thought it needed to be a bracelet. And yeah, it didn't take too terribly long, although it was sort of here and there in different places, and a lot of places it wasn't really easy to set up my phone as a camera. So if I'm going to do more travel videos, I think I'll try to figure out better, smarter ways of recording but that's something that we'll have to work out later on. So, but there we go. It's a little something I made in Thailand. I really like it. Hopefully you like it as well. I have an idea for an alternative pattern to this. So this isn't going to go into the shop until I've worked out and made the other alternative to it. And that way I can put them side by side and then you can compare them both. So there you go. So thank you to my patrons and my YouTube members for everything. I mean, seriously, all the string, all that stuff, really, it's you guys help make this kind of stuff possible. So thank you guys very, very much for that. Hopefully you got enough information from this tutorial to be able to put this together. Like I said, it's a really easy make. There's nothing changes directions because it doesn't go off to the edges. It just keeps going around in circles. So this really should be pretty easy. If you have questions, leave it in the comments and I'll try to get back to you and answer any questions you might have. So yeah, thanks again. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.